In this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the Shopify Search and Discovery app in 2025 and beyond. Not only that, I'm also going to teach you how to utilize this app for better upselling and cross-selling throughout your stores to generate more revenue. Before we jump into my screen, just make sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you'll know whenever I release new video that's going to help you grow in your Shopify store. Alright, so let's just jump into my screen. Alright guys, so here I am, I'm on the Shopify App Store. Now if you don't know what the Shopify Search and Discovery app, this is basically a free app created by Shopify to help you optimize the search bar in your store, as well as optimize the filters that you usually see on the left side of collections. This is an app that pretty much got kind of a higher rate compared to other Shopify apps. They did a great job in here. So all you have to do is just install it in your store. It's completely free. When you first install the app, this is what it's going to look like. As you can see, there are some analytics of the most searched products, the click rate, the conversion rate from these searches, and a bunch of other things you can have a look at. And on the left menu, you can see that we have a bunch of options. We have the filters option, the search options, the recommendation options, and the settings. We're gonna go through each and every one of them, so no worries. Let's start with the filters. Now, the first thing that is worth noticing is that filters can only work with themes on the online store 2.0 that supports section everywhere on your store. If you're using an older legacy version of themes, it's not going to work for you. And anyway, I recommend upgrading to the new version of online store 2.0 themes. So in your online theme, all you want to do to make sure that you have filters is just head over to the online store channel, click on customize next to your active theme, and then if you head over to collections, just head over to the default collection. Of course, if you have any other template for collections, do that as well. And then if you just click on the collection section, you need to find the place where it says just filter menu and make sure that filters are enabled. If you don't have that, then it's not going to be displayed. Okay, so this is saved. I'm going to close this one and go back to search and discovery. Now, to get started and just see by default what my filters are going to look like, I'm just going to click here on the view button, and that's going to take me to the collection / all, basically the big collection with all the products in the store. You all have it by default, don't worry. And you can see here that I have multiple filters by product type, by product category, in stock or out of stock, price range, color, capacity, bunch of other stuff that I defined in the store. It can be based on metafield and other stuff. So now that I have it enabled on my store, as you can see, I already have a list of existing filters in here that I already created in advance, but all you have to do is just click on add filter to add a new filter. So let's say that I want to add a specific metafield that I want to allow customers to filter by. I'm just going to click on add filter. I'm just going to call it waterproof index. So let's say that I want to allow customers to filter products by how waterproof they are. I have a metafield like this in my store, so I'm just going to search for it, okay? And then it's automatically going to withdraw all the options from there. All right, so I'm just going to select all of them. In terms of sorting, we can do it either manually or automatically. I'm just going to set it up to automatically. It's good enough. I'm going to hit save. And now if I go back to my list of filters, you can see it at the bottom. Now let's say that I want to have it second, right after the product type. Okay, that's probably not what I want, but just for the sake of the example, I'm just going to hit save. And now if I click view again, I'm going to see it right below the product filters. As you can see, the waterproof index shows me that I have only 5 products of 2,000 to 3,000 milliliters of waterproof index. Fine, okay, whatever. That's very simple so far. So I'm just gonna pull it back to the bottom because I think it's not that important. I think that product type is way more important, and I'm gonna hit save. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, you can also create groups of filter values. For example, if you have multiple product types like we have in here, let me just show you real quick. Okay, you see that we have a lot of product types. Let's say that I want to group a few of them together because the collection is really large and I want them to be able to combine a few of them together. So what I can do in here, if I head over to product types, I can mark here the few that I find that are kind of the same and group them together. Okay, so I can, for example, take air mattresses, I can take inflatable couches, and I can take tents. Okay, and let's say that I want to group all of them together and call it camping. All right, so I'm just going to click done and I'm going to hit save. And now you can see that they're marked as a group. Okay. And now if I go back to my store, you see that instead of the air mattresses that showed up first, we're going to have the camping with all 3 types combined. If I'm going to select that, it's automatically going to show me all the tents, all the couches, and all the air mattresses. All right, so I'm just going to cancel that for now because I don't really need that on my store. Let's just do select all and just ungroup. So this is it. This is how filters work. If you have any questions about it, just make sure to comment that in the comment section below. We'll answer everyone. Let's move on to the next step, which is search. So search is very basic. Usually it's just a search bar at the top of your store. It's going to be either an icon that opens up for a search bar or just like a visible search bar on your store. Usually have a very high conversion rate, so I do recommend making it visible, especially if you have a large catalog of products. So in the search function, we have two very basic functions. The first one is product boosts that are going to allow you to promote specific products in search if you know that they are relevant for words that are not necessarily going to show up on search. And I'll show you a quick example. So if we go to product boosts, you can create a product boost that's basically going to allow you to select one product or multiple products and then select specific terms that if are being searched, you want them to show up anyways. So let's say that I have one boat, just random example, okay? Let's say that I have one boat that I want to show up if someone searched for tent. Makes no sense, but for the sake of the example, I just want to show you what it looks like. So I'm just going to search for boat, and let's say that this specific boat, I want someone to find it if they search for tents, okay? So I'm just going to add that, and then I'm just going to add tent. Click add, and let's just do tents as well. All right, and I'm going to hit save. So now if I just go ahead to my store and hit refresh, and then I'm just gonna search for tent, you can see in here that the inflatable boat is coming up on top of the rest of the tents. Again, terrible example. Usually you're gonna use that for, if you have the word tent, you're probably going to select the tent that you know is the best seller to show up first. That's kind of a more, let's say, common example, but I just wanted to show you something that is very obvious to understand. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete this boost because it's irrelevant to me. And I'm going to get back to the search page. Now I'm going to show you the synonym option. Very basic, nothing crazy, but it's basically allow you to configure specific synonyms to show up in search in case someone searched for the wrong kind of item as it's set on your store. So I'm just going to create a new synonym group. In here, I'm going to put the words that are relevant. So you open up on Google synonyms for tent. Okay, so we have canopy, shelter, awning, a bunch of other stuff. So I'm just going to copy that, put it in here. All right, so now we have 3 words. Of course, you can add more, and I'm gonna add tent just for the sake of the example, and I'm gonna call it tents. Perfect. So now that I hit save, everything that I'm gonna search between these words is going to show up the results for the keyword tent. Okay, so if I go back to my store again, and I'm gonna search for any of these words, if I search for canopy, for example, it should show up all the results that are coming up for tent. Okay, so this is great. This is super helpful to make your search more efficient. So I highly recommend setting it up, at least for your best sellers or your best collection. Make sure you do find the relevant synonyms and set it up. Super simple. And now we're getting to the product recommendations section. This is again very basic and very simple to understand, however super powerful. So for each product that we have on your store, Shopify is automatically going to generate a list of 10 related products using AI, okay? And then you can set up manually complementary products that you can later on use to upsell and cross-sell throughout your store. And I'm going to show you an example for that in a minute. So for any product with this list, if I'm just going to click it, I'm going to see the AI recommended products and the complementary products. The complementary products have to be set up manually. There's no way to do it automatically. If I head over to related products, you can see here the options that Shopify generated for this product. Of course, if you want, you can really change that. That's not a problem. You can just search for a product and it's going to display that. That's very easy. And you also have the option to hide auto-generated recommendations. Again, I think having recommendations either way is better than not having recommendations, but really up for you to decide. Then from complementary product, let's say that for this boat, I want patches to fix it when it's broken, okay? When it's got a hole, or I want an electric pump or whatever like that. So let's just search for a bunch of products that are relevant. All right, so let's say that we have here this pump. This is a pump for customs, but you know, for the sake of the example, let's say that I have that, and let's say that I want to add another patch. All right, so we have here the repair kit. I'm gonna add that. So these two seem like very good complementary products for this boat. If you buy it, probably you want to fix it if it have a hole in it, and of course you want to inflate it faster so you can go and sail faster. So I'm just gonna hit save. All right, now if I go back to the list of product recommendations here, you can see that I have this product with the complementary product. Now, if you want to use it for upselling and cross-selling, of course, we recommend using ReConvert. We've integrated with a Shopify Search and Discovery to allow you to automatically display both related products generated by AI and both complementary products to show up on your upsell offers. And the way to set it up, I'll show you that in a second. Just for the last thing, let's just head over to settings. The first thing is with filters. You can choose if you want to display or hide empty values, I definitely recommend hiding it. There's no point in showing something that is empty, not even at the bottom. I think it's just confusing for customers. In terms of search relevancy, you can choose which results you want to show in the search results. I recommend just keeping it for products. I don't think that blog posts are good for you. Again, if you're a brand that generates a ton of content and it's helping customers make decisions, fine, but I don't think that blogs in most cases are going to be helpful. Pages, I think, are relevant if they want to search for the shipping policy or refund policy, whatever. It should be easy for them to find. And then same goes for predictive results. These are the results that you're going to see as you type, kind of autocomplete for different results. I think all of these are great. Pages, collections, products, and queries. Again, excluding blog posts, I don't think that is relevant. And then in terms of out of stock products, it's really up to you if you want to display them or not. If you're allowing after selling or, overselling, if you're planning on getting more stock soon, or you can do reorder, up to you. You can do that. For me, I'm just going to do it not at all. I don't see any point in having products that are out of stock. Now, the last thing that I want to show you is how to set up upsells and cross-sells using these recommendations and complementary product, which can be super powerful. Again, the upselling opportunities on complementary products is insane, okay? So all you have to do is, if you don't already, just head over to ReConvert. This is the upsell app that we've built and we're super proud of. If you head over to the flow builder, then you just need to select the page you want to edit. Now, let's say that I have it on my thank you page. Okay, ReConvert can do now checkout upsells, post-purchase offers, thank you page, and order status. Now, let's say that with ReConvert, I want to display on the thank you page both a bundle of complementary products and product recommendations for the related products if they want to buy more. Okay, so all I have to do is I'm going to add a widget. In here, I'm just going to create a slot and add a widget. In here, I'm just going to start from scratch. I think it's the best option to just show you what I want to do in here. All right, it's going to ask me what widgets I want to add. So in this case, I want to add a bundle and a product recommendation slot. For the bundle, let's say that I want to do just 2 products. So I'm going to, let's head over to the bundle. I want to have 2 products and 2 per row. Let's make it list buyout and let's just do this. Okay, so complementary bundle. And then on the product level in the Shopify recommendations, I'm going to choose the recommendation intent. So by default, it's set to related product, the AI generated product recommendations by Shopify. And I'm going to change that to complementary products. And now it's going by default to display the complementary product that I've displayed, that I've selected manually. But you don't need to worry about it. If it's not available, we're automatically going to default back to the related product, so you always have an offer to display. Now let's change the title here to actually frequently bought together. That's fine. If you want to add a discount, you can do that with ReConvert, no problem. For the second product, again, let's just set it up also to complementary products, so we have 2 products in this bundle. And then for the product recommendations, I'm just going to head over to products, and in here I'm just going to keep it in Shopify recommendations. So I'm going to hit save, and now all I have to do is I'm going to close down the editor, and I'm going to place this slot number 1, the custom slot that I've just created, and put it on my Shopify thank you page. Okay, so from this list, again, because this is slot number 1, I'm just going to select it. And as you can see, we have here the bundle. This is just a random product that we've selected, so it's not going to be really effective. Below that, we're going to have the product recommendations. As you can see, customers can scroll through these widgets and select the relevant product for them. All I have to do now is just drag and drop this entire thing to wherever I want. I think it's going to show up better right here below the subtotal, so I'm just going to drag it all the way to the bottom. And here is the bundle of complementary products as well as related products below to allow customers to choose whatever they want from. So I'm just going to hit save and I'm ready. And this is it, guys. You now know everything you need to know about the search and discovery app in Shopify and how to set it up in 2025 to optimize your store, not only in terms of recommendation, search, and filters, but also in terms of upselling, cross-selling, and bundling to increase your average order value and maximize conversion on your store. If you want to learn more about ReConvert, upselling, cross-selling, about Shopify in general, just make sure to subscribe. We release new videos every week to help you grow your Shopify store in 2025. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye for now.